What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing this evening, I should say, I guess. But anyway, today's video request, people that live in the past and what I think about it, I guess, so let's get into it. So we have a future, we have a past, and we have the current state we're in now. But a lot of people think back in the past, a lot of people think in the future. A lot of people say you should just think of the presence, and the presence is right now. As of right now, as I'm making this video, the presence. That's how we should all be taught. Now, truth is, that's hard. Because what we worry about in the future will eventually happen. I mean, it's not guaranteed that it will happen, but it most likely will happen. So you pretty much got to worry about it. Now, the past, on the other hand, whatever bad might happen, whatever bad happened to you in the past, it sucks, but at least it's the past. It's done with. It's never happened, that specific thing ain't happening again. That's some old history right there, We have people that do people wrong, and sometimes we hold that against them. Meanwhile, some people do change and actually, want to try and start over. And some people forgive those type of people, and some people don't forgive those type of people. And me, personally, I feel like we should forgive those type of people if they're willing to make a change. If they say they're going to change, but they're really not, then I can understand. But there's some people that are really actually willing to make a change of whatever they did wrong to you. Let's just say, I'm just saying as an example. And people still will hold something against you. They'll still hold some kind of grudge over you that you could have done 20 years ago, 30 years ago, It happened. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't change the past, but you could change the future, possibly. A lot of things happen in the past that we might not want to even talk about, like a lot of things, tragic things or just whatever scenario things probably happened in the past that bother us. For example, someone was molested. Now, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about that. You can't change that from ever happening. It happened. But only thing you could do is just live the present and future. But that's the thing. Some people can't cope that way. Sometimes certain things happen to people in the past that they can't ever get out of their heads. And, it's true. You can't erase what happened. Here, people. But yeah, you can't erase what happened. So what do people most likely do to try to cope? They do drugs. Or they become an alcoholic, whatever, me personally, what I suggest to people like that whatever bad thing happened in the past, I guess what you got to say is, you got to accept it. Now, of course, you don't want to accept it, but you have no choice to accept it. You can't change the past. What happened already happened. It's the future of what it's pretty much what counts as now and the future, supposedly. The past is done with. Whatever happened to you in the past, you got to just say to yourself, hey, nothing I can do. It happened. I got to just live on, man. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's fucking easy, but you got to just move forward. You have to. You can't, things that happened 30 years ago, you can't, keep those thoughts with you your whole life and then have it ruin your present time and then, so on in the future, if I'm making sense, Like, for example, let's say we have a friend, and in the past, he did wrong to me. He stole from me. Whatever he might have stole. It's the past. If he's willing to change and be different now, do I suggest you would forgive the person? Yes, I do. If he really is going to change. But that's the thing. Some people do certain things to the point where they just won't forgive the person. We all make mistakes. Every single one of us, even me, every fucking one of us makes some kind of mistake. But we can't go back to the past and recorrect our mistake. But what we could do is learn from the past of the mistake that we did and try not to make the same mistake again currently in the present and then hopefully so on in the future. So what I'm trying to get at is the past is done with. You know, a certain year was really bad. You were suicidal, for example, or, you know, you had it really bad. You got to say to yourself, that was the past. Maybe now's better. Maybe now's worse. Who the hell knows? But that's the thing. A lot of people live from the past. And then there's also good things that happen in the past, which I can understand, like good memories and shit. But sadly, that's the past. Like, with that being said, good things that happen in the past, whatever it might be. Some people wish we could just go back to the good old days. Ever hear that saying? Which is true. I mean, I wish too we could go back to the good old days, but sadly, it's just not going to happen. We can't bring back the past. We can try and react what happened in the past, but of course, it ain't going to be the exact same error. But and then you do got people that, you know, make a really, really big mistake that's can't be forgiven. You know, well, some people forgive it, but being a killer, you know, people murdering your family or whatever the hell. Now, I feel like this is a little off topic, but with that being said, everyone that does wrong in that way deserves consequences to be taken. Now, I feel like nobody should deserve to be punished for eternity. Well, plus there ain't gonna be no eternity. We ain't here forever, but, you know, people going to jail and shit, you know, I feel like they should go for an amount of years, learn from their mistakes. Whether they learn or don't learn, let's say they do learn, then they get released is one thing. But if a certain type of person that's ill, sick to the world, mentally unstable, that they should keep away. They should put that person away, because that specific person is always going to be that way. It's just how he is. He has no soul, I guess you could say. But this is off topic. I don't feel like getting into that right now. But anyway, back to the past, man. The past. Back in the past, I was a good Call of Duty player. Now in the current state, I suck ass. Well, I gotta accept that was the past. You know what I mean? And the truth is, nobody's perfect. Well, yeah, far from it. But you know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's certain things a certain person does, and then right away they don't even want it. They don't even give another chance. Now, me personally, I am a forgiving type of person. I don't like to hold grudges. I don't like to hold anything against anyone, you know. But I mean, you know, if the person, let's just say, obviously is not willing to change and he's going to keep being the same idiot, jackass, whatever you want to call it, then yeah, then I can understand. But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of things. The past gets in the way of things like that. Like, oh, he was known for being this or known for being that. Maybe he changed. There are people that do straighten their act. You know, you got someone that used to be a really bad drug addict, let's say, for example. Now he's clean. So there's people that do improve in life. Now, not everyone. I mean, there's people that remain that way. But the thing is, this person used to be a drug addict, let's just say, as an example. Now he's clean, but now he's looked as a druggie, you know. And let's say he applies for a stupid job, or they may see, oh, you a drug addict, or, I mean, you know, whatever. Like, basically, that goes to show you people hold things against you from the past. Yes, I was this. Yes, I did this. Yes, I did that. But now I'm clean. Doesn't matter. You did it, though. Absolutely. You're right. I did do it. But I am a changed man now, let's just say. But no, they don't look at it that way. They just keep focusing on the past. Something that you can't erase anymore. It's it. I made the boo-boo. There's nothing I can do about it. Only thing I can do now is move forward and just try not to make any more boo-boos, you know? But that's the thing. People always hold something against someone. They could be a totally different person now. But nope, just the fact that you did that, you're a piece of shit. At that state, maybe I was a piece of shit. But now I'm willing to try to be a changed man or a changed girl, whatever, vice versa. It's like there's some people that get cancer and then they beat it. Thank God. I'm so happy for people that beat it. I wish everyone could get the chance to beat it. Not everyone's fortunate in that way. But, you know, one good thing now, the person that beat cancer is cancer free. He or she doesn't have it anymore. It's a thing of the past, you know. Now, the person will probably think in the past, for example, man, what bad state I was in, I had it so bad, you know, and some people think that way and they get depressed. But you got to say to yourself, that was in the past. Now you're all right. So now you got to just think of the present moment, you know. And that's what they say with that, where you got to try to think presently. Because the truth is, it's never too late to straighten your act. If you did, well, unless you're a murderer, maybe then it's too late. If you do something really bad like that, then I mean, I don't know, but not getting into that. But other mistakes we do, whether we're drug addicts, whether we were thieves or whatever, there's always a way we can change. But that's the thing. Even if we do change to be better people, there's still people to hold that against us. They keep grudges over it. Yes, I was that type of person back. I'm just saying specifically. But I'm a better person now. But no, now that you made that, you will always be known as a piece of shit. I could never forgive you. And then this is what ends up happening. We hold things from the past, you know, and there's nothing you can do. You know, I'm willing to try to be a good person, let's say, but due to what I did in the past is going to keep being the judgment when it shouldn't be, because it's the past. I can't go back and fix it. If I could, I would, but we can't. So we got to just move forward. And that's the thing people don't do. You know, that's what I'm trying to say by this topic, if I'm making any type of sense, which I hope I am. Hope I'm not confusing anybody. Because in most ways, life is too short. So they say life is too short. I feel like it's too long. But with that being said, the saying, life is too short. So you shouldn't hold grudges over someone for something they did bad in the past. Now, if they're not going to change from what they did in the past and they're going to continue doing what they did in the past in the present, then I can understand. But there's people that are willing to change. And I say we should give those people a chance. Because there are people out there that do change for the better. And you got people that change for the worse. It all depends on the person. But that's the thing. There's people that are willing to change, and yet we don't even give them that chance. No. Ain't gonna change the fact of what you did. It's true, but you gotta just move forward. But that's the thing. We don't. We don't. We hold stupid things against us. Now, I can understand when it gets crazy, like certain things you did, like let's say you were a rapist or something. Yeah, that I can understand. You know, I mean, that I could understand not being able to forgive that person. I mean, if let's say the person actually did change and says, you know, I'm really sorry for doing that, I guess I would forgive him and respect him for being a new man. But it is true, what he did in the past was bad. That was really fucking bad. You know, being a molester and shit. I respect his future state, I guess you could say, his present. But I admit that's a boo-boo that I admit maybe the past does get in the way of, you know. Well, really, the past gets in the way of it all, because pretty much whether we do serious bad things or not do serious bad things, it's always serious in most times, because we literally don't forgive, you know, we don't forgive anyone. We just keep holding that against them. Nope. I don't care how good you are now. You always known what you did. You're a piece of shit, no matter what. You know, that's our attitude. It's like perfect example. I don't know if anyone's really familiar with Son of Sam. Son of Sam. He used to be a killer. He's in prison as we speak. He's never getting out of prison. Now, supposedly he had schizophrenic, where he thought a dog was telling him to go out and kill. They made a movie over it. I don't know if anyone's familiar. I'm sure there's people that are, and there may be people that are not. But if not, type in the movie on you know, a clip on YouTube, Son of Sam or whatever. But he had some kind of mental issue where he thought a dog was telling him to kill people, to the point where he started killing people and shit. You know, and actually when this happened, I wasn't even born. My parents were born and shit. Obviously, they were around at the time. But, yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't born yet. But, yeah. But, yeah, you know, now he seems like he's a changed man, for example. Now he basically looked into God. Now, I'm not saying God's real, God's not real, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is it looks like he's a whole different person now because he's on medication. So really, a guy like that, he probably didn't really mean to do what he did. Still doesn't change the fact what he did was wrong. It is. He killed people. But he was mentally ill, and now he's on medication or whatever that's making him function better. And now he kind of learned from his mistakes, you know what I mean? Now he's like, he gets interviewed and shit. I mean, you know, could I forgive him? I mean, I respect who he is now today, how he's a much better, you know, has a better attitude. But, of course, what he did in the past wasn't right. But we can't, I mean, you could hold it or you can. I mean, but the thing is, you ain't going to be able to change that. What he did, he did. It's never going to, you can't do anything about it. It happened. But what I respect about him now is how he changed. Although if he does get off the meds, he'll probably become like that again. Who the hell knows? But, yeah, I mean, the thing is, you can't change what happened in the past. You know, you can only move forward. Now, there'll still be people that would want to, you know, probably kill him. So that's like a perfect example of how people hold things against the past. Which that I can understand. I mean, that's a little extreme what he did. But he was sick. See, the thing is, you got people that actually kill that are fully aware, like, how can I put it to this? You got mentally unstable people that don't really know what they're doing, they're ill or whatever, but then you got people that actually do get joy out of killing. Now, those type of people, they ain't ever going to change, most likely, you know. But, Son of Sam, for example, I feel like he wasn't in his right state of mind. It's not like, I don't think he was getting joy out of doing it. He was just doing it because he was literally being told in his imaginary head, a dog was telling him, go out and kill. To the point where he just went out and killed. So you know what? That dog should be held responsible, imagine. But, yeah, that's the difference, you know what I mean? Like, there's people that realize what they're doing is wrong and don't give a fuck. And you got someone like him that was mentally sick and doesn't really know he wasn't in the right state. Now he's on medication, and now he sees and looks back and he regrets what he did. A person like that I could forgive. Of course, it's not going to fix, you know, the puzzle. Like, it ain't going to fix who he killed. That person's dead for good, you know. But we got to just learn to accept the future and the presence, I guess, if that's making sense. Sorry if I'm confusing a lot of people, but I mean, we just got into Son of Sam now, but you know, I'm just trying to give as many examples as possible with this topic, if that makes any fucking sense. But yeah, now he's like supposedly a whole different guy. And I couldn't blame people to still not be able, you know, to trust him, because if he ever goes off those meds, he'll probably think a dog's talking to him again, saying kill, and he'll do it, like in some kind of weird state, you know. But anyway, back to, you know, the main topic. Yeah, so, you know, you shouldn't judge, well, certain things like that, you know, but most things people do wrong, you shouldn't hold against them forever. If they're willing to change, if they're willing to better themselves, we should have the respect for them, and the, you know, that they're putting that effort, and we should give them another chance, you know. For example, a person that used to be a bully, and let's say he bullied you specifically, but then all of a sudden he changed. Now, it's not going to change the fact in the past of what hell he caused you. That's forever and ever and ever, you know, in your consciousness or whatever. But the point where he admits he's wrong and he's truly sorry for what he did could give me that sympathy for him and make me want to forgive him. It ain't going to solve, like, it ain't going to fix what he did, to, let's say, to me in the past, the beating and all that, just saying. But the part where he apologized and he's willing to be a better person and actually be friends, you know, things like that, then I could give that person some respect, you know, because he's willing to change. He admit his mistakes, he admit he was wrong for what he did, and he's trying to be a better person. So what I'm trying to say out of this, you know, out of this whole message of the video is we should give people another chance if they're willing to change for the better. Obviously, I'm not going to give someone a chance that keeps making the same mistake. I promise, just give me one more chance. I don't feel it works that way. But if someone's willing to change for the better or whatever, we should be willing to give that person a chance and see how he does. And if he does well, let's say, then we should start all over and put the past all against us. It's not going to change. The past, it's over with. It's done. It's done. Truth is, no matter what bad thing you did, it's the past. There's nothing you can do about it. It's today really that matters. It ain't even really tomorrow. It's true. It's really what today that matters. As of right now. Who knows if I'll get out of here alive. Just me ending this video, driving back home, I could possibly get killed. I can have an accident or something. Who knows? So, you know what I mean? Like, it's true. Hopefully that won't happen, though. But it could happen. So truly, with that being said, we should truly respect people and treat each other with respect. But sadly, of course, that ain't going to happen. It's a waste of time of even mentioning it. But, hey, I just feel like mentioning it anyway, man. You know? But anyway, guys, I'm going to stop yip-yapping now. I'm going to call it a night. I'm getting kind of tired. Yeah, we'll be making more soon. And, yeah, if you have a specific friend that did you wrong in the past but's willing to change, willing to actually be a friend, do I suggest you give him a chance? Absolutely. If he's willing to and he actually does, that's good. You know? But if, you know, obviously he's full of shit, then I can understand if you slam the door in his face or whatever. But, you know, thing I'm trying to keep saying is we can't undo the past. We can't. There's a lot of things we've done that we wish we didn't do, but there's nothing we can do about it. There's things I did in the past that I wish I didn't do. You know, but what could I do about it? Absolutely nothing. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't make it stop. Well, it's done with, you know, but I can't go back to that past error and change it. You know, it's nothing you can do about it. And it's, you know, it's not easy. A lot of things really bad happen to people that they can't ever forget. And it's hard. I understand that, man. You know, it's easy for people to say, you know, I mean, it's true. It is the past, but there's certain things tragically that happen to us that we can't ever erase, you know, so it's not easy. But the truth is, what do we do about it? There's really nothing you can do about it. You got to just accept it and move on. But I know that's not easy, you know. But even though it's not easy, that's the only choice we have. Because there's no other choice than that. You can't erase something that already happened. You can't. So I can understand it's not easy, but you just got to say to yourself when it gets to that, there's nothing you can do about it. Life's unfair. Life fucking sucks. Life's more than just unfair. But, you know, but you got to just try to have that attitude where you say it is what it is, you know. I mean, what I mean by that is, yeah, fucked up shit happened to me in my life, but what do I do about it? Nothing, because truthfully, there is nothing I can do about it. I can't do a damn thing about it. I can't change what the hell happened to me in the past. All the beatings I gotten, which thank God I wasn't ever bullied, but, you know, people that were. You got to just say to yourself, that was back then. It sucks. There was a bad time for you. It was. But one thing you got to say is that time is done with. You're in a different chapter now, whatever chapter might be. It might be even still a bad chapter. Life goes through a hell of chapters, you know. But you can't fix it. You can't. No matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you try to cope or do drugs to try to forget it, you got to just realize there's nothing you can do about it. You're just going to get yourself sicker over it, you know. And it's not easy. That's why I understand why people do drugs, why people drink. You know, it's not easy. I'm not even saying it's easy. But what I am trying to say is there's just absolutely nothing you can fucking do about it. You got to just accept it because you have no choice to. It's not even a choice. It's not even optional. You have to accept it. Whether you want to or don't want to, you know. It's just the way it is in this stupid crap hole. But anyway, I'm going to call it a night there. I hope I made some valid points. And I do apologize if I confuse some people at mid-sessions of the video. You know, do apologize. Sometimes certain things I say, I do confuse people. Heck, I even sometimes confuse myself. But, you know, from the bottom of my heart, I'm truly trying to express how I truly feel. And I'm just truly trying to help people, you know, as best as possible. And, you know, truly appreciate that. Anyway, like I keep saying, good night.